Hello and welcome to the Adam and Nard Show. On today's episode, we have our guest Amir Ali and my brother Adam.
Hey, how are you doing, guys?
Doing great. How are you?
Good. All good. And today we're going to talk about luxurious cars.
Hey, so Amir, how are you doing, man?
Doing great.
Thank you for coming to the
Thank you.
show. Today we have a very special topic. We are going to talk about luxury cars. We're going to talk about Ferraris, Lamborghinis, Bugattis and all that stuff. We're going to say like what to do, how to buy your first luxury car if you don't have one, or even if you have a luxury car, what to look out for. We're going to talk about the history of luxury cars and all the little secrets that you guys know in the industry. So Amir, why don't you introduce yourself to us?
Yeah, well, my name is Amir Ali. I've been in the car luxury kind of business, you can say, for quite some time now. At the same time, at the side, I also study as well, but it's a completely different rhythm to what I'm doing right now because I'm studying IT. But I love cars and I love luxury cars specifically. I like anything that goes very fast and is very loud. So that's why I'm really into these kinds of stuff.
The first time I saw you, Amir, was in the showroom, and
Correct,
there's
yeah.
this luxury showroom that sells lots of beautiful, luxurious cars, man, like Bugattis and Ferraris and Lamborghinis. I was impressed with what I saw.
So that's how you guys met.
Yeah, that's how we met. We met
okay.
in the showroom. And then I told Amir, after seeing him the first time, I think I called him a couple of weeks later, something like that, a month later. I said, Amir, you know what? We have this show. Why don't we do an episode on luxury cars? So that's how we're having this conversation today.
So Amir, do you consider this as a hobby that you like to do, or you want to choose it as a career?
I mean, it's for now it's a hobby, obviously, but later in my life, it's not like a main path that I want to go for. Maybe something on the side that I could potentially run, but definitely for now it's something of a hobby because from the get-go, from understanding what a car was and understanding what a Ferrari, Lamborghini was, I fell in love with these cars. And from then onwards,
Who wouldn't, man?
Yeah, I mean,
Who wouldn't? Yeah. Every guy would.
wouldn't?
Exactly. Why wouldn't you? And from
Obviously.
there, I just wanted to, own one in the future and even go for the more exclusive ones myself because, they're
As
arts.
long as you are a man and it's in your DNA, obviously you're gonna love
Absolutely. But
cars
no,
with the biggest engines.
he's being humble, by the way. He knows a lot about luxury cars. I had a discussion with him, not just luxury cars. We're talking also about artificial intelligence, stuff like that. But I was impressed with his knowledge in luxury cars. We were talking about Ferraris and Lambos. This is why we're going to have this amazing conversation
Well, that's the
today.
reason why we're having him now.
Exactly.
So that he tells us about the whole thing furthermore.
Yeah. So let's start with the first question, Amir. So what intrinsic qualities make luxury cars like Ferraris and Lamborghinis and things like that, Bugattis, stand apart from other car manufacturers or other premium vehicles?
I mean, you need to also have a kind of a broad idea about this. First thing is you have history and heritage with these cars. These cars were the first ones in the market to make a loud bang, you can say, because a lot of these cars, such as Ferrari, when they came into the market, the first thing they started to do was go into motorsport racing. So you have Formula, you have Le Mans, etc. And then slowly all of these companies like Lamborghini and Bugatti came in to compete with them because they wanted to have the same level of glory that Ferrari did, etc.
Did you watch the movie?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I did, yeah.
So let me get this straight. Lamborghini was Ferrari's...
Was it the same movie that you said that you didn't watch it?
Yeah.
Oh man, come
I
on.
didn't watch it, but I
You
have
need
to
to,
watch
dude.
it, man.
You
It's
need to
pretty
watch it.
interesting.
You
So
have to watch
was he a student or something like that, or an intern?
The guy that owned all of them were tractor farmers. They had these companies who sell tractors. And
Yeah.
I believe Ferrari was a bit different. And eventually when Ferrari came into the market, the guy who owned Lamborghini, he bought one of the Ferrari cars and he came to, I believe it was something about the clutch.
Yeah,
And-
he had some suggestions, right?
Exactly. And if you know anything about Enzo, he's a very proud man. He always has been proud about his cars and he never thought that his cars had a problem. So he basically told the guy, you don't know how to drive.
That's
Why are
another
you
way of
driving?"
saying narcissistic,
He's
right?
basically, he was.
I think the question was more like you don't know how to build cars. I have a small suggestion to make. And
No,
then,
he didn't say I don't know how you don't know how to build
I don't know,
cars.
people.
I think
heard-
the way he phrased it was this is a better way
Yeah,
to do
exactly.
it.
Yeah,
right?
he was nice. He was
Yeah.
nice.
He
with
was being
it.
respectful with it, and then Enzo
Yeah.
basically said, "Go back to your tractors."
Exactly.
That's what he said.
Exactly. Yeah.
And through that, Lamborghini basically opened up a whole R&D facility, and they started to build their first car. I believe it was a 3.5 liter. If I'm not wrong, and they actually brought in the people who used to work in Ferrari as well, who either he bought them or they were fired. He brought them in, and they started making the vehicle. And it was really great because a lot of people thought that it would be impossible, but they ended up making specific parts of the vehicle out of aluminum. So it made the car faster
and
smoother,
lighter.
and like, it was amazing.
What an incredible story.
Yeah.
I think it's like the whole story is about, let me show you what I
Exactly.
can do, right?
Exactly.
That's the whole story. I think another comparable story would be Honda and Toyota.
That's how all of them start up. Even even if you want to focus a bit more even on the luxury brands, Ford, for example, like when you look at Ford, you don't think luxury,
It's
right?
not luxury.
Yeah, but the thing is, Ford, they were suffering so much because Ford also has a motorsport team. So they were suffering so much that they came in to buy Ferrari, because Ferrari, like in history, Ferrari has been going broke multiple times. Like,
Wow, I
'cause
didn't know that, Nart.
They would spend so much money making cars, like fast cars, so it's a lot of exclusive materials, expensive materials,
Yeah.
and the people that would buy them, they wouldn't necessarily make too much profit off it. So when Ford came in to buy Ferrari, Ferrari used it as bait for Fiat to come in and buy it off, like buy Ferrari in general. But basically, again,
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Did you know that,
So
Nart?
it was about to go like bankrupt multiple times.
Yeah.
Wow.
And the thing is with Ford is Ford wanted to completely control every aspect of the motorsport teams. And Enzo,
Like
the
a
whole-
monopoly?
as in if Ferrari wanted to compete in a race, Ford could say, I don't want you to compete there.
Right.
That's how much power Ford would have.
That's a
And,
monopoly.
exactly. And with Enzo, he the whole Ferrari started as a racing team. It was all racing, fast cars, boom, boom, like this. So Enzo basically told them, like, what are you guys talking about? You have no idea what we are. You don't know who we are. You should all go back to your like factories, build your slow cars. And then again, you have another competitor that came into the market, Ford, which they came in and they won Le Mans from Ferrari, and they won it multiple times back to back. So that's
Yeah.
literally how all of these companies came into play in the like 70s, 80s. It just, one guy said, you're not good enough. The other guy said, okay, I'll prove it.
I'll show you.
Whacked cash into
The
the
whole
business.
thing,
And
yeah.
That's how they all started out. And,
Wow.
yeah.
You see, there's this movie,
Yeah.
and there's another movie called.
By the way, what's the name of the guy, the
one with,
actor? Nart? This is a very
Matt
good
Damon,
actor.
Matt Damon.
No, the guy that played
Rush?
No, in the movie Lambo.
Yeah, it is.
Ferrari and,
Matt Damon and
Ford.
Christian Bale.
Yeah, Christian Bale. Ford versus Ferrari is Christian Bale.
Yeah.
The British guy that
Yeah,
drove.
yeah. He's a very good
Matt
actor.
Damon, Christian Bale,
Yeah.
and that some other guy, the guy from Ferrari, I think. The
Matt Damon?
Ford versus
That's
Ferrari.
Ford versus
Ford, yeah,
Ferrari.
that's
The
another
one he's
one.
referring to is that's more related to Formula One, though.
Yeah,
But
that's a different movie. Yeah.
Again,
Yeah.
Niki. So in history, like Niki Lauda, like, if you know anything about
Niki
Formula
Lauda,
One,
yeah.
Niki
Yeah,
Lauda, he was
yeah.
a very
the car,
smart
the
guy.
racer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was a very smart guy. He was
Yeah.
3 or 4 time world champion, and on top of that, he had a massive impact with Mercedes' dominance in F1 in the hybrid era as well. So
Right.
he knew how to build cars, and that's how he basically got into Ferrari, because he went from a really low tier team, and he made friends with his teammates, and then from there they went to Ferrari, and he just started to dominate track after track, and
Nice.
he would have done if he didn't have.
Unfortunately, you know, with the accident that he
Yeah.
had,
That kind
he
of
got
slowed him
burned.
down.
Yeah, it was really sad. I've seen this.
Okay, so Amir,
Yeah.
can you tell us? Can you break down the factors that contribute to the high price tags of these luxury cars?
Yeah. So one thing that these cars have that a lot of other common companies don't, like Nissan, Toyota, is that they tend to be handcrafted. So when you go to their factories, or even before, even if you watch documentaries, you see that they have a very small factory, and it's about 15, 20 guys who are putting the car together piece by piece. And they do keep this heritage going, because this is where they all came from, and this is how they want to keep doing it, because that's how the price go up. So on top of that, you also have highly expensive materials, so carbon fiber. Carbon fiber is more expensive than steel and aluminum right now. So
Wow.
that's a very expensive material that they add on every one of these cars. Right now, you look at any sports car, any luxury car, there's at
has
least like
carbon fiber,
even
yeah.
like a smudge of carbon fiber. It's
Even
on that.
a strip of,
Yeah,
of carbon
like
fiber.
in a Lamborghini Urus, like in the Pearl capsules, there's literally like a small, on the dash, there's just like a small line of carbon fiber on it, because people love carbon fiber, and they say it makes the vehicle lighter. Yeah, it's not for that, but they just want to add carbon fiber because
It's
it
just
looks
for
nice.
show,
Does
man.
it?
It's
Does
for
it?
show,
does,
and
yeah.
art. It's not going to make it lighter. If it's just a little
If it's
strip
a little
of
strip,
carbon
it's not that,
fiber.
Yeah, it's not that great of an impact, but if the majority of the vehicle around it is filled with carbon fiber, like even like Formula One cars, they have carbon fiber on them. So yeah,
Primarily for aesthetics.
yeah, it's a bit more for aesthetics, but there are actually like cars for Ferrari and Lamborghini that they do have more carbon fiber around the body of the
Full
car.
carbon
Yeah.
fiber.
Wow.
Even Bugatti Bugatti as well, they do have a fully exposed carbon fiber vehicles as well, because it makes it lighter, faster. So why not? People want to be faster. There you go. But
so handmade, number one. Number two, carbon fiber components.
Yeah.
What else?
Then you're looking at horsepower. So
HP, man. Come on.
Horsepower.
it takes a lot of money and R&D development to make a car go severely fast in a straight or in corners.
Right. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I mean, I respect that.
That's actually one of the main reasons why you buy a car.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm an engineer. My background is engineering, civil engineering. But from an engineering perspective, it's an engineering marvel.
Yeah.
These cars, man, 1,000 horsepower, 700 horsepower.
2,700 right now with
What?
Yeah. There's
What-
a new.
what is this?
Koenigsegg's new car. I think it's above 2,500.
That's not a legal street racing car.
They don't. No one cares. The whole point of this car being brought into the market because the guy wanted a family car. So he wanted, because every sports car has 2 seaters. This guy made 4 seaters so his family could sit with him. That's how his factory came into.
And it's legal.
It's coming into the market. No one's stopping it. So.
You know what? Speaking of prices, guys, he is the expert here. He's been in showrooms, I mean, for a while. You tell us some price tags of cars. Like, let's start with a Chiron.
You're looking at
In
like,
AD or dollars?
Let's say, okay, can you say both?
okay, so with dollars,
So that we get double
So
heart
that we
attacks.
can just, start crying right now.
you're looking at 5 to 6 million USD. So that's what about
That's a Chiron.
15 million, 16 million dirhams.
15 million, 16 million dirhams for a Chiron.
something like that.
What are the types?
So you have Chiron Sport, Chiron Super Sports. Like it's like a ranking class, and they'll go above, and each of them they have like an extra bit of kick in them. And for that extra bit of kick, it's extra money. Yeah.
Tell us more about that. Tell us more about the Chiron.
Okay, so the thing is with Bugatti as well, one thing we need to also highlight is...
Hold on one sec. Andrew Tate fans, if you're watching this, pay attention. If you want to be a top G, if you want to buy your first Bugatti, this is the guy that deals with Bugattis. So he sells Bugattis. Listen to this.
Yeah, so basically with the Bugattis, one thing that they have is high level of exclusivity. So you cannot just go into a Bugatti dealership and say, you need to have some sort of background. And if my memory serves me right, they do background check you.
Yeah,
if you
Andrew Tate said that, by the way. You should be like literally something like a celebrity with, you need to book an appointment, and they will see if they will accept you.
Do you know
it's
why
like
not?
a resume that you
know
apply
why?
for.
Because they don't entertain anybody. They can't entertain everybody and anybody.
And that's why the
you have
price
to be
is
a somebody.
Somebody to get it.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
And through that, they check. And then even if you have all the money in the world and they don't think you're going to be able to drive the car in the perfect way, or you're not a good image for their brand, they'll just say no.
Wait a minute, that sounds...
Imagine they have the power to say that.
Hold on, but that is crazy. Why?
They can.
I mean, if I have the money, it's my car. I can go crash it if I want to.
Now you say that.
What is
actually,
this?
this is a fun... We're going to quickly divert a bit from course. You say it's my money.
It's
Let me tell
my
you about
property.
Ferrari.
It's
Let
my-
me tell you about Ferrari. Did you know that if you buy a Ferrari and you mess with the body of the car, you add in, I don't know... you wrap it or you add specific cosmetics to the car, etc. Ferrari has the right to sue you if they want to.
They can sue me?
Yeah, they can sue. They take the car away from you. That's the start.
What?
But they blacklist
Based
you.
on what? Wait a minute. Is there like a contract that you sign?
When you get the car, there is actually a deed
contract.
Yeah, you sign it. So when you're buying, that's the thing. On every single Ferrari that you buy, you have to basically, it's like a respect of the model, like the respect of the person who built it. You cannot go and amend that and change that. Obviously, you can get permission, but you're looking at a very small gray zone.
Nart, what do you think
So
about
if you
this?
can, like, let's say, for example, if you want to customize a Ferrari, you have to send it back to the company itself?
No, you have to get permission. You need to tell them what you want. But majority of the time, they'll say no. They say, why do you want to change it? This is a Ferrari.
Nart, that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
Like Forza Ferrari. Like,
It is ridiculous,
Seriously,
but still
my
it has that.
respect for Ferrari went down. I understand where they're coming from. They want to protect their legacy. They want to protect their brand.
Yeah.
But I don't care. In the world of business, if I buy something, it is mine. It's my property. Imagine like if... Wait, hold on a second. Imagine if you bought an apartment or a villa or something like that, a property from me.
Yeah.
And imagine if I tell you, you can't do anything to your property, it's not even my property, your property. You can't fix it. You can't expand. You can't renovate. You can't do anything.
So basically, it's still yours.
Without my permission.
Yeah.
Excuse me, who are you to tell me what to do? It's my property now. I
That's
bought
the
it
thing,
with
yeah.
my money. What is this?
As Ferrari, I believe as well, they have like a stake in your car. Like regardless, they'll have a stake in your car even when you buy it. So, And it's not a fact that, oh, maybe because I'm not a celebrity. They don't care if you're a celebrity or not. There's been rappers who have been fined and blacklisted from buying Ferraris and even sued by Ferrari because they wrapped their car.
Sued by Ferrari.
Like, they will come for you. I'm not even joking. They will send their team. They will send you a subpoena.
You are absolutely
crazy,
correct.
man.
This is
What
officially
is this?
a top G conversation right
Yeah,
now.
these are like top G problems, guys. You know,
Top G
So
problem.
if you're
Like, you
buying
know,
a Ferrari, don't just use it as it is. Don't touch it further. And it's,
Yeah.
but that's the thing. There are like.
What about Lambos? Can you modify
Lambo
Lambos?
is a bit more relaxed with it because
Okay.
even
Well,
when you're
thank
buying,
God.
even when you're buying a Lamborghini, you have
Yeah.
more of a customization choice than you do with Ferrari. They have,
Wow.
they
I
have,
had no idea,
They have
man.
so many
I
different
didn't
shades
know.
of red. They have
Wow.
so many, and that's the thing with specific cars. They have specific shades of red for that car. And some cars as well, they're like, you have the gray color you can add or white, etc. But that's it. Lamborghini, you can put blue, green, orange, throw out whatever you want at it. There was even a guy, I swear, the guy who made a Lamborghini out of like raw materials, and Lamborghini saw this and they sent him an engine.
I loved that, by
Oh,
the
yeah,
way.
yeah. They even
I
took him
saw
in.
that.
Yeah.
I saw that. Yeah,
Yeah,
They
man.
appreciated that,
Yeah.
by the way. What did they do? They sent him an engine.
They sent him an engine
Yeah.
because he built the whole body. Everything. It was
Wow.
exact from the outside. It was a
3D
Lamborghini.
printed.
Yeah, and then on the inside, I had like a Toyota engine, I think. But then Lamborghini saw this and like, come on, it's okay. Then they sent him an engine. Like, yes.
You see, this is what I'm talking about, man. Lamborghini, I think they're doing the right thing. They appreciate creativity. This guy was very creative. They appreciated that.
Yeah.
Ferrari is a completely different story. I don't think they like that.
It's not also, but that's the thing. You can say Ferrari is the ones that really started this, but there's other Italian companies that do it because, in general, with Italian manufacturers, they're very proud of what they've done, especially Ferrari. Because
Oh, that
Ferrari,
makes
they
sense.
say that we were here from the first day. Like, we introduced the world to speed. Everyone is a Ferrari fan, as Enzo
Yeah.
would say. But it's not only Ferrari that does this. Bugatti also does this. So another fun story is there was a guy, I think in Vietnam, who created a Bugatti out of clay and fiberglass.
Yeah.
And the
Wow.
car
Out
was,
of clay.
yeah.
Wow.
And the car worked. It's when you see it at the end, it literally looks like an actual Bugatti. The only
Wow.
thing's missing is the engine and just like the Bugatti symbol on the front. Bugatti sued him, or are attempting to sue him. They're trying to like locate this guy.
Okay,
So,
all
because
right.
a lot of them they don't joke about
Okay.
because they're so strict.
So they
and,
draw the line,
They
yeah.
draw the line because they are very proud of what they've done. They don't want anyone to go make some
Yeah, but
bad brand from them.
didn't he just like do it out of like admiration to the car? Like tell him
no,
like
they-
it's
that's
like a
what-
shout out.
That's what all of these
Dude,
guys
that's
do.
where they all come
Yeah.
from. That's where they come from.
okay,
Comes
okay.
from a place of admiration anyway.
Especially the guys like in Vietnam, he's in a village. No one,
Yeah,
no one's
true,
seen
true,
a Bugatti
exactly.
in their
I
life, and
know.
he's out there like making one. And the Bugatti's like, you know what? Lawsuit.
No, plus in addition, like to be honest with you, like the color red, he was like talking about the shades. So when I talk about the color red itself in cars, I honestly, in my opinion,
It's like the one you're wearing, Art.
yeah,
That's the
in my
color I
perspective,
know.
I hate it. I literally hate it. But
No,
when,
wait,
when
wait.
you see it on a Ferrari,
Exactly.
dude, it's
yeah.
different.
It
man.
only suits Ferraris.
It really grabs your
This
attention.
color that you're wearing right now.
It's like seeing
that's
a
the color.
lady wearing a red dress. It's
see-
just like boom, it
Yeah.
strikes
Obviously,
you.
like camera
That's-
can't see, but for example, you see these are
We'll
the different.
put it on the screen.
These are different Ferrari shades of Ferrari red that they have.
Look at that. What are the names? Russo. Wait.
Scuderia Rosso. You have Corsa Rosso.
Rosso.
Like there's.
What is the other one?
Which one is like the original
They're all
one?
Rosso.
Yeah.
What does Rosso mean?
Red.
Red. Oh.
So in
That's
Italian, Rosso. means
Rosa like
Rosso.
rose,
Yeah.
just like a flower.
Wow, man. We're gonna put that up on the screen.
Yeah.
And
so-
which one do you
different
think is
shades
the
of red.
original red color of Ferrari?
The standard color.
The
Let's say.
standard one. Which one do you think? Do they have one?
You're looking at Rosso Corsa, if I'm not
Rosso
wrong.
Corsa.
Yeah, this one.
Oh yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
Yeah. But each of the cars as well, like when they bring in new vehicles, they tend to have like a special exclusivity of these shades just for that specific car. So Rosso Portofino is available for some cars.
Yeah,
or
because
Corsa
that is
well.
true. There's one like a light red, like this Rosa Corsa, something like that, and a maroonish red too. I
yeah.
see it
Maroon
sometimes.
color.
Yeah. That's beautiful too.
Right.
Yeah.
Amir, what can you tell us about the unique technological, like let's say, advancements in those cars from an engineering perspective?
And speed, maybe.
Yeah, anything.
Okay, so the way that these guys
Technology and engineering.
the way that these guys build it is they have different fields. So they focus on the chassis, the powertrain, reliability.
Yeah.
And they also look at the aerodynamics of the car. So when you're making a car like this, you have to make sure that its powertrain is strong.
Yeah.
It fits basically with the chassis that they're designing. and at the same time it has really good aerodynamics, so when it's in the turns or when it's in a straight line speed, it can harness a lot of speed and be able to go without any sort of resistance. And the final thing is reliability. When a car like this is on a very high level,
which I'm going to ask you about, by the way. That's a very controversial topic.
In terms of
I want to
reliable
ask
cars?
about reliability.
Yeah.
When I saw the different showrooms in Dubai and Sheikh Zayed Road, I asked a lot of showrooms, by the way, not just you. I asked different showrooms about the reliability. Let's go on. I'll tell you about that.
So the thing is with these fast cars, you have to drive them fast. If you don't,
then there's no purpose of buying it. Seriously, there's no
crazy,
purpose.
man. If you don't drive it fast, the car breaks down. Is that an accurate statement?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah?
Basically, yeah.
But I was like, guys, I was
if you don't
once,
drive
once
it
yeah, I
fast,
was
it
once
breaks
in a Lambo,
Yeah.
and multiple times in an SLS. Like, you reach to this point that if you literally switch on the music, you're stupid
Why?
because the engine itself is music.
It's music to
You
my
get the
ears.
difference. Like, you literally want to drive the car because of the engine.
You know, a friend of ours had a SLS. We used to drive his car sometimes. That was beautiful. What was it, an SLS?
It's a
What was it?
roadster. There's a roadster and the Galwing, the one with the open doors.
Yeah. Which one did he have? The
Both.
Yeah.
Both.
Yeah. It was
the whole
beautiful,
package.
man. It was a beautiful ride, man. Yeah. So, what else can you tell us about reliability? Now, what I heard from these guys, one of the showrooms told me, one of the dealers said that these cars are not everyday cars. So these cars are not to be driven every day. They're not like your regular Toyota or Honda or Nissan. What can you tell us about that? I find that crazy. I don't know, man. I find that counterintuitive. How can you buy a super expensive car that costs 15 or 17 million dirhams and you can't drive it every day? That is stupid, honestly.
But
Forgive
don't
my
forget, because
expression. That's crazy.
The reason why is because also if you buy it and you get to drive it a lot, it depreciates immediately. Also because
forget
of the
about
mileage.
that. Forget about that. We're talking about
So,
durability,
if you want to
reliability.
resell it, let's say.
But this was my question, by the way, to the dealers. How reliable are those cars? I don't care about the price tag, whether it's a Ferrari or Lamborghini or whatever. We didn't even mention the other brands, guys. There's so many brands.
You got Maserati,
even a brand,
Aston
Maserati,
Martin.
Aston Martin. By the way, I went to the Aston Martin showroom and I saw all of their cars. And man, they have beautiful cars.
The market for them here is not that great. It's AM isn't a big company for people to like. It's usually the people who drive them are the British people.
Exactly.
So
They love the.
You know, the
Aston
reason
Martin
why I
brand.
like Aston Martin is because it has a very good medium between both. It combines luxury and sport at the same time.
Yeah.
So like when you get to be in a Lambo, when I was in a Lambo, it was Murcielago, an old one.
Wait. Let's ask him. How do you pronounce it correctly? Is it Murcielago or Murcielago? How do you say it? Murcielago?
Murcielago.
Murcielago. No,
Okay,
it's Murcielago.
US they say Murcielago. I don't know why. Okay,
Yeah,
anyway.
Murcielago.
So I was
wait,
in it.
Murcielago?
Yeah.
Murcielago.
So it's like Italian pronunciation.
right. That's how you should say it, the Italian way.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, even like today, I think we butchered a few companies. We butchered a few names. So either way, as long as you know the
we should
cars,
say it.
Anyway, we
Right.
just know the names now.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
so
yeah.
in my experience, like when I'm like in a sports car, dude, you get to be in the car, you get to enjoy, you drive, but in the long run, when you go for like long drives, it's very uncomfortable, man.
Yeah.
It's super duper uncomfortable.
Super uncomfortable.
and that's something that we will also need to actually mention. So
you have to address that.
mainly, yeah, you're correct. What they said is true. When you're buying a Lamborghini or a Ferrari, it's not an everyday car. You're meant to take it for the weekend. But if you're driving it 7 days a week, like
Why not? If I want to drive, let's say I have a Ferrari. I want to drive it every day to work.
do you know how much the brakes on a Ferrari cost?
Well, wait. If I can afford a Ferrari, you think I would care about affording brakes? Look, the whole point,
True.
I understand. If
True,
money's
true.
not an issue,
Yeah.
fine. I understand. Even if it breaks down, they can fix it. They can, repair it. But the thing is, imagine if you're driving a Ferrari or a Lambo, whatever it is. And imagine if the car breaks down in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
And imagine you couldn't get help in time. And imagine in a country like the UAE where the weather is very hot, let's say in the summer. Let's say you drove the Ferrari to, let's say, Al Ain, and it broke down in the middle of the way, and you're waiting for help to arrive for the recovery service, and you're waiting for more than an hour in this scorching weather. This is the kind of reliability that I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You don't have that problem with a Nissan. Nissan is
don't,
extremely reliable.
Or even Toyota, Honda, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So I don't understand. I am paying top dollar, in this case, top dirham. Dude, I'm paying a lot of money, and this car can break down any second. How does that make sense? How does that compute?
I mean, because it's just the level of intensity the engine is going through on a regular. Because think about it as well with the brakes, with the engine. Also, you have to factor in the heat. And you see, with cars like a Nissan or a Toyota, you're looking at maybe 300 horsepower. With these ones, you're 800.
Right.
And
yeah, that's true. He's right. From an engineering perspective,
that's a lot of RPMs, a lot of pressure on
heat.
the engine. Yeah, exactly. And already with the heat that we have here.
Yeah. Imagine I'm a billionaire, so money is not a problem for me. I can just buy any car I want, whether it's a Lambo or a Bugatti, it doesn't matter. If I'm going to buy a car, the number one priority, not just luxury cars, any automobile manufacturer, should be safety.
True.
Should I be worried about the car exploding in my face? How concerned should I be from a luxury car such as exotic cars? Let's call these exotic cars.
For a guy
they're
who
not
wants
just
to buy
normal luxury cars. It's not a
exotic,
Mercedes. It's not an S500 or an S63.
Yeah, correct.
It's a different type of category. These are exotic cars, let's call them.
Yeah.
Exotic luxury cars. So how worried should I be?
I mean,
for me and my family.
Yeah, of course. That's fair. I mean, obviously, these kinds of situations, they're not a common factor that happen. They're rare scenarios. But as I said, when you're in a car like this that is already putting a lot of toll on the engine, like right now, even when we work in our showroom, we move the car, we turn on the car, we put it in the parking, and then we bring it back 5 minutes later. If you touch it, it's super hot.
Wow.
It's super hot.
Wow.
And it stays hot for a bit longer, like at least an hour or two. You can still
But
feel
that's
heat.
scary, man.
Yeah. But that's the thing. It's a lot of pressure being put onto the engine to be able to output the amounts like the car is basically showcasing it has.
Yeah.
So with that and with the weather, that's why a lot of the time when you go to these, like, that's the whole point of VIP parkings, etc. You see, when they go there, they're not going to leave it in the sun. That thing's going to blow up. It can.
And
wow.
and bro,
And it's not only like even cars like Nissan and Toyota, they can. But the thing is, it's just the difference between what the level of pressure on the engines that it has on those cars and to these cars. So you need to always factor that in. And this situation, I'd say it's a rare scenario because obviously they want to keep improving safety and reliability because they want to keep going forwards with it. But at the same time, you need to realize you're in a very fast car. There are people who, like even in motorsports, they get in a fast car, they know that there's a risk of their engine blowing up, their tire popping all of a sudden in the middle of a race. It's the same thing here. Like anything of that sort can happen to you when you're going that fast. Your engine can blow up, your tire might
If you don't go that fast, that's the question. If I'm driving my Ferrari or whatever,
if you drive it too slow, then you're going to risk breaking it.
No. Yeah. I'm driving it normal top speed. Let's say 120 on shake. 120. 120 shake, 140 max in certain roads.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to work, not every day, because you said you can't use it every day. Every other day, or
Correct.
at least, what are the chances of this car blowing up in my face?
It's near to zero. Like there's always going to be a risk factor. No, like every day when you walk out, there's always a 20% risk factor whether like you're going to come back or not. It's normal. It's just it's mathematics, and it's the same scenario here. There's always a risk factor whether you're getting into a Lamborghini, whether you're getting on a bike or even a Nissan Cam. It doesn't matter. There's always going to be that risk factor. It just comes down to.
No, but hold on, Amir,
Yeah.
hold on.
Yeah.
We're both. I mean, wait, you're not an engineer.
wait.
No.
Let me tell you something
Yeah.
about just like in addition.
Yeah.
You also have to recognize that there's the reason why they're developing like exotic cars. It's because you want to buy it, have a lavishing car, experience the power and stuff. But with economical cars like Toyota or Nissan, they know they're manufacturing the car for a reason so that it stays with you. They're doing this on purpose. It's not that they can't do a good Ferrari
Which
car.
is the
that
next
can
question,
stay.
by the way. We're going to
You
talk
get
about
it?
that. They're walking pieces of art.
If they want you to have a good, reliable car, they can make one. But they don't want you to make one because they know that you're rich. You also you can afford it. You can buy. I'm serious.
No, that's
I'm
a
serious.
conspiracy theory.
No.
We're not
I'm
talking about
serious.
planned obsolescence.
No. I'm serious.
No.
Dude, a guy who is poor.
Yeah.
Okay, a guy who is poor. Do you think that he's going to go and buy an expensive car that's not reliable?
Yeah.
He's
Of course
not going to stay with it.
What do you think, Amir? Is this true? Planned obsolescence
There you
in the
go.
exotic world?
Yeah.
certain times, yeah.
Oh,
So
man.
it goes like each,
This is crazy.
yeah, it goes like each person has his own category. So if I'm rich, obviously I can afford to get a rich car. Even if it breaks down, I don't mind.
Yeah.
I'll just go and fix it, repair it, whatever.
Yeah.
But if I'm like not rich, I'm poor.
Yeah.
I need to buy something that is reliable. Somewhere just like a car that can take me from point A to point B.
Yeah.
That's it.
But hold on, Amir. You also like tech, right? I'm a tech guy, by the way. I have a tech channel. I'm a tech guy. Let me give you another analogy. In the world of laptops, especially gaming laptops, you know that, right? I've done lots of tests before. I had a Razer Blade, and the problem with lots of these gaming laptops that they
Speaker.
overheat. They
Speaker.
overheat. By the way, they don't call it overheat. I mean, they're designed to operate up to a temperature of about 100 degrees Celsius. Fine. The problem is it fries the battery.
Correct.
A lot of Razer Blades, a lot of Dells, a lot of HP laptops,
True.
whatever. The problem is the battery. It fries the battery.
Yeah.
Now, compare and contrast engineering-wise. Look at a Mac. You got a Mac. Beautiful MacBook Pro, right? Is this an M chip?
M1 chip.
Look how efficient that Mac is. Wait, give me that Mac.
Sure. There you go.
This is a beautiful piece of engineering. I like tech all in general. I have Windows laptops too. But this is a very efficient piece of engineering because Mac chips, I mean M1 Pro, M2 Pro, whatever, the M Pro, the M chips, not from Intel, from Mac, from Apple, they're very efficient.
They don't overheat.
They don't overheat, which
all.
is why Mac batteries last years. I had a lot of Macs before, even with the Intel-based chips, by the way.
Yeah.
The way they optimize everything, hardware and software. And Macs are not cheap. So you can compare Macs to expensive Windows gaming laptops.
Yeah.
We're talking 15,000 and above. Let's say if you have M1 Ultra even, M2 Ultra, whatever. So the point is, it's also engineering, Amir.
Yeah.
These Macs don't overheat. The batteries are fine.
True.
I have apps like iStat Menus. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. It monitors the battery. It monitors the temperature, the temps everywhere.
Yeah.
So if you compare it to a gaming laptop, you can see the difference in engineering. So my next question to you is, out of all of these luxury cars, I asked this question, by the way. I want to see what you say. Which one is the most
Reliable, luxurious car.
reliable? Not luxury.
Telepathy, bro.
Yeah, I love that, man. Not luxury, reliable, exotic luxury car. Let's say we call these cars exotic cars, right?
Yeah.
So let's list them: Ferrari, Lamborghini, Bugatti, Porsche. Even Lotus.
Yeah.
Okay, you've got Pagani. What else? Give me some. McLaren, Aston Martin, Maserati. All of these cars. Okay.
You'd go for a Porsche.
So true, man. It was like right on my head.
This is the third
So
person
true.
telling me this.
Even
You'd
the
go
top
for
G
what?
said it.
Porsche.
Yeah.
So Porsches are very, or is it Porsche? I don't know how they say that.
It's a Porsche.
Porsche. I like Porsche, man. Forget Porsche. So, why are they reliable? Why is Porsche reliable? More reliable than the other ones.
Porsche is the difference between Porsche and the other luxury
Let's just say
brands.
it's German.
Yeah. Okay. That's the first thing we can.
Top engineering.
Yeah. The first thing we can actually zone in on. He
Yeah.
has a point. German engineering has always been consistent. They're very reliable. Like.
No offense to Italian engineering guys.
You guys make great cars.
We're not. We're really not being
Yeah.
offensive here. We don't. We're just saying the facts.
Yeah.
Okay.
German
All right.
engineering has always been known to be very reliable and always ahead of its time usually.
Okay.
So, and not only in cars and other divisions, but we won't get into that right now. That's the first thing that you have to look at. The next thing is that with Porsche and cars like Ferrari, etc., you can use Porsche on a day-to-day basis. You can get
Yeah,
you can get a
what kind of Porsche? 911?
Turbo S, 911.
That's so
because
true, by the way.
These cars,
So true.
Even the expensive ones? I'm talking
Like-
about the super expensive
like
ones.
the 918 Spider.
Yes.
Yeah, no, that one is a bit of a different story because that's a hybrid. That's first, like
Right.
that was crazy technology that they added into that car, and that right now you're looking at 6 million dirhams for that car,
Right.
at least. But just to put it into perspective, it can be used as a day-to-day car because of one main thing as well. Porsche is known to make GT cars.
Ah, okay.
Man, when you said that, I just remembered Paul Walker when he passed away. Man, that car is really beautiful. But they said that it's extremely dangerous too.
Wait a minute. Now it's kind of scary, man.
Even the sound of the engine, dude. I remember, dude. I used to play Need for Speed Most Wanted, and I used to drive that car. It was so beautiful, man.
Wait, let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Why? Why did that happen, man? And it was very unfortunate when
And
Paul
it's not only
Walker-
with him, by the way. Multiple people said
Yeah,
that
yeah,
it's
there was
extremely
a
dangerous
problem with
around
that
curves,
car.
especially.
So that's the thing. GT cars, they stand for Gran Turismo. So that
Yeah.
means that they're usually used for races that are very prolonged. The circuit is super long.
Yeah.
And the whole purpose of them is that the driver is meant to have comfort in the car while he's driving. Because if you sit in like a Ferrari 458, you're going to struggle a little bit. Like your back might
True.
pivot.
Yeah.
But like with the Porsche or the Mercedes GT Black Series, for example, that's another good vehicle. Even though the car is really good, reliable, and comfortable, there is specific. So with the GT Black Series, for example, the front, if you are going into a turn and you accelerate too much, the front will give in. So you can, yeah.
What do you mean by given? What's going to
Like
happen?
as in,
A
like it will
deformity?
spin, yeah, it will spin out.
What?
The car
Like a
can't-
donut, you mean? Yeah.
Yeah, it will
Wait,
spin
which
out.
car is
okay.
that?
GT Black Series. So you see if
The
you're
Mercedes.
Yeah, yeah. So if you're going in a straight line and you're going into like a turn or into
Yeah.
a corner,
Yeah.
if you put too much power into
Yeah.
it, you do risk the car like turning sideways like that. Turning and like it's basically spinning out. The car spins,
Spins
out.
just like muscle cars
Spins
when
out
they
of
spin.
control.
Yeah, out of
Are
control.
you saying that this is analogous to what happened with
I mean,
with the Paul Walker?
For the
and
Paul Walker case, I don't recall it too well because it was a long time ago that happened. But with GT cars, you have to be very careful as well because a lot of the time as well, people do tend to not have traction enabled for these cars. Traction
Right.
is a very important thing with GT cars, traction control.
Right.
So when we're driving our everyday cars, there is
Yeah.
traction control because like if you can't.
That's new technology.
No, that's been around for a while. Traction
Okay.
control has been around for a while, but that's the thing. When you're going into turns with, for example, like let's say a Toyota RAV4, when you're going into a turn, you can accelerate. You will feel like the car is basically forcing you this way, but there is traction enabled in your car to not make you spin out when you're putting too much
That is
acceleration.
true.
Is
That is
that
true.
VSA, Vehicle Stability Assist?
Kind of, yeah.
That's
it
the-
does. It does relate
And
to
it's
yeah.
down. It's like it's a button that you press called
Yeah, it's an
traction
option.
control.
It's an option.
So
yeah.
if you look at like BMWs, etc., there's actually modes in the car you can change to turn off traction. So a friend of mine in the UK, he actually used to turn this off and he'd go drifting, like in a parking lot. So
okay. All right.
you turn these off so you can have it. Basically, the whole point is that you have more control of the car yourself rather than the car controlling what you're doing. So
Okay.
when you turn off traction control, it's just baby wheels are off completely. You're risking yourself and potentially those around you. But the thing is, when it comes to fast cars and motorsport, they don't have this on because for the reason that when you're going to the turn, they can put in more speed going into the turn, which means they can go faster in the turns. So that means lower lap times potentially to overtake someone or to qualify higher. So that's where traction control comes in as well.
Cool. Now let's talk about Amir. Let's talk about 0 to 100.
Yeah.
How many seconds? And give us a few.
Don't get the
Brands?
electric vehicles, please, into it.
Yeah, we're gonna
You're
talk.
gonna-
wait,
you're
wait.
gonna butcher
we're
the
gonna
topic.
talk
Come
about
on,
wait,
man.
we're gonna talk about electric
Yeah.
vehicles here. I'm gonna add in throw in a Tesla after that. But we're gonna talk about drag racing.
Even the producer started laughing, bro. Come on.
No, seriously, we're gonna have to. We have to talk about this. I mean,
Sure.
it's the elephant in the room. We have to talk about Teslas against all of these cars.
Yeah.
Now, why don't you give us samples or examples of a few cars that go from 0 to 100? How many seconds? 3 seconds, 2 seconds, whatever. Go.
So anything like you're looking at anything above 850 horsepower. So for example, the SF9T Spider.
Yeah.
That's a very good example. You're looking, I think, 0 to 100, 2.4 or 5.
2.4.
5, I think somewhere around that.
Nice.
But then with the Bugatti, you're looking 2.2, 2.3. Like it just the higher the horsepower.
2.2.
Yeah, the higher the
Wow.
horsepower,
2 seconds, bro.
it tends to affect as well. Like because
Yeah.
when they increase the horsepower, there's also this kind of ratio of the lift from
Yeah.
like from standstill to lift, and that's why. So in cars like Tesla, when they're off the line, they tend to be quicker because of the fact that there's like the electrical component within the car.
We're gonna talk about Tesla.
course.
Hold on a second.
Wait,
Let's let's put it on the side
Wait,
for
just,
now.
just before this starts,
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
because you're gonna like start. And
We're gonna
never
have
end.
to talk about
Wait,
Tesla.
wait, wait.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
for a combustion engine, from
Yeah.
your perspective, which one is the fastest? I don't know why. For some reason, in any video that I watch, I see the McLaren. Maybe because it's the lightest.
You mean the fastest production car?
No, the
Like
fastest,
fastest
and the
starts,
way it accelerates, like immediately.
that's the fastest
It
production
just
car,
Beats
yeah.
them. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
just
in
like
a
beats
drag
them
race.
immediately in a drag race.
Okay.
And from the initial point, like the moment it just goes off.
Right.
So
What is it, Amir?
Yeah.
It's not Ferrari. It's not Lamborghini.
Could be a Bugatti.
I don't think it's Bugatti either. Can't really say Porsche because Porsche is like
No.
3.2.
No, I don't think it's a Porsche. No, no.
We're talking street legal.
Street legal.
Yeah, we're not talking some
You
crazy
could
rocket
be-
car, you know?
You could be looking at a Mercedes potentially.
The Mercedes.
Mercedes do tend to have, because they have the torque, the amount of Newton in the torque.
You know what? This is a question
What about
worth Googling.
I don't know. I've
Fastest-
seen a lot of cars also, like in a drag race. One of the good cars is imagine it's a Skyline
Guys,
GTR.
the answer
the
is
Godzilla one.
the fastest car in the world is the Jesko Absolute. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly.
Absolute.
330 miles per hour.
Yeah.
That's the fastest one.
I thought it was a Bugatti.
I'd love to get my hands on one.
Well, tell us about the cars that you're selling right now.
So the highest level we have right now is Bugattis.
The Chirons.
Yeah, Chirons.
Okay.
We also had the Super Sports, which we sold. Very nice car.
You also have a lot of Mercedes.
Mercedes as well, yeah. Mercedes. So mainly when you're in this kind of business, you need to also look at what's available for the market, what people want, market demand. So in a country like the UAE, G63s are very popular.
Oh, they're very popular.
man,
Man,
definitely,
that
yeah.
car's beautiful, honestly.
sure.
Exactly,
But I mean,
yeah.
the old ones, they were not comfortable, honestly. They were not.
The
I don't know about the new ones.
The G63 to drive it, but not to sit in it.
No, I'm talking about
serious.
the seats.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Dude, when you compare a
Bro, it is
Nissan Patrol,
very
for
uncomfortable to be in a
example, or a
G-Class. I
Toyota
don't know.
Land Cruiser, if you compare the seats, they're super comfortable.
man, a
And
Land
if you sit in the
Cruiser is
G-Class,
completely
it's not
different.
comfortable, man.
Never.
Even though G-Classes are much more expensive.
To drive it, yes, it's really nice. It's beautiful. Even the driver's seat is nice, but when you sit as a passenger,
Yeah.
it's not. Dude,
I mean,
you
the
sit,
G63 is literally like a box. It's
It's
not
a
a
box.
It
Still a box,
it
right?
It has no aerodynamics on at all.
Wow.
because it's
But
a
it's
military
powerful, bro.
vehicle
Yeah.
before. It's a military vehicle before.
It was,
So
yeah.
you sit like in a 90 degrees like this,
yeah.
and
With a
I don't
broken
know.
back.
Yeah, man,
I
it's
mean,
just not
the whole point was designed so if you get shot at, it doesn't come
Oh
through
my
that easily.
God.
Or like, you know,
Exactly.
if there's like something blowing up next to you, the car doesn't flip over. It's just,
Yeah.
it's basically a fast tank essentially, and
just
when-
like an FJ Cruiser, which is a
that's-
Toyota.
I mean, FJ Cruiser.
It's the same experience.
Dude, we're
with the
not
way you sit
talking. We can't
inside.
talk about that,
FJ
man.
Cruiser.
I know, but I
I'm
mean,
not
like,
a fan
in
of
terms
them.
Yeah. I mean, okay. What other cars you guys have sold or actually are selling right now? I remember seeing Porsche as well in your showroom.
I mean, Porsche is another big brand here. We have GT2 RSs, we have GT3s as well. We have 918 Spider.
Nice. How much are those?
Well, the one we had, I believe we were listing for 6 million dirhams. Wow. It's a 2015 car, but the fact...
Definitely, it's customized
that's
with
old,
carbon
bro.
fiber and stuff.
Wait,
Yeah,
wait.
it's
Tell
got
us about
carbon.
the 2023 models you have.
So, like, we have the GT3s that are in. We have a
Okay.
nice blue one that's there.
How much?
You're looking at 985,000 dirhams.
985. Okay.
Yeah. So GT3s are very good cars.
Yeah.
They're luxurious. They're quick, and again, depending on the customization you choose on the vehicle, which we can get onto that a bit later on,
Yeah.
you can technically use it on an everyday basis.
Do you have 2023 Bugattis as well?
No, we have 19.
2019.
Yeah.
So the 2019 models cost 17 million?
Well, 15 million dirhams.
15. What about the new ones then? How much would they cost?
You're looking like 30.
30. Whoa.
You're looking
Sure.
like 30.
So, Amir.
Yeah.
Now, the most important question in this interview. I think this is the best part of the interview. I have money.
Right.
I'm a top G.
Okay.
I want to go buy my first luxury car. I'm just excited. Inshallah, one day.
Okay.
Okay. So, first of all, what do I do? What kind of homework should I do? What should I look out for? That's what
Right.
I want to ask you.
Okay, so the first thing that you want to do is you have to do research on what brand you want. Let's say
Yeah.
in this scenario you choose to go with Ferrari. I know you don't like Ferrari anymore after what we've spoken about today.
Honestly, no. I'm look.
Yeah.
Okay, let me just set the record straight. I love Ferrari
Yeah.
as a brand. I went to Ferrari World.
Yeah.
I learned about the history. It's a beautiful brand. It's a beautiful company. It introduced, like you said, the world to speeding cars, right?
Yeah.
But I don't like that particular policy.
True, that's
Doesn't
fair
mean
point.
that I hate Ferrari.
You're not the only one. You're not the only
No,
one.
I
Don't-
love Ferraris. They're beautiful cars. But
Yeah.
that only particular policy I don't like.
Correct.
Yeah.
So let's say in this scenario you go for Ferrari. You research. What are you into? You want. You're looking for A12s. You're looking for a coupe. You're looking for more like a sporty hybrid, say SF90.
Yeah.
So this is what you look at. You look at what would be good, but at the same time, you also look at something that could potentially, if you're looking to sell in the future, you can sell for a decent price.
Yeah.
Now, when I'm saying research, because I've dealt with people, I've known even my friends who've dealt with people like this, where a person has come in and bought a Ferrari, and they've come to me and said that I can't use this in the streets. And I asked him, I was like, what Ferrari? He said, it's a 488 Pista. And I said, yeah, Pista. He's like, okay, that means track. It's a track car, 488 Pista. Pista translates to track in Italian. So
this is what we talked about.
Yeah, it's in the name.
Earlier.
It's in the name. And when you see the car, it doesn't look anything close to what you would be putting out in the street. Obviously, you can have it, but let's say when you're going up on speed bumps, you have to go in this really crooked angle. And it's like,
you're talking
obviously
about
because it's going to hit.
Because it doesn't have a lift. It doesn't have an axle lift at all. So when you're buying these cars, research, because a lot of these car manufacturers, when they're naming the cars as well, especially brands like Ferrari, they're not just like, oh, yeah, Italian name. No.
GT, for example.
Yeah, there is reason behind the names that they put in. There's always reason behind it.
So are you talking about the clearance? Should I research the clearance before I buy a luxury car?
That's also good as well, because you can see, like, as well, look at the specs on the vehicle, see if it has like a front lift, because if it doesn't...
Tell us more about these things, man. You have the knowledge.
So essentially, so one thing you look at is the cosmetics. What is in the car? What can you add? What is there, like bucket seats? Is it?
What do you mean by a bucket seat?
They're the more like racy kind of seats, the one that your back gives in after an hour if you're an old man, or if you have bad back.
Okay.
But
so you have to research all of that.
You need to look at that
as well. It is
well.
a bucket seat. Yeah, coming to think of it, I swear,
Bucket.
man.
It literally is a bucket
You
seat.
literally like sit in it and you just go like...
You dipped, because like when these guys are... Because the
Then
whole
you're
point
slouching.
the whole point of the bucket seat is like when these guys are racing, they're like this so that they have more control over to the acceleration and the brakes.
Right.
And the bucket seat kind of protects them as well from the side as well.
But that's not comfortable, man. I can imagine that. Yeah.
And also because when you just like, step on the gas, like you do this, the car does not go like boom. So it's more designed like a bucket, so just to get you.
Yeah, exactly.
What about test drives? Do you recommend that?
As far as I'm aware, luxury cars do not do test drives. As far as I'm aware. Because one thing that he actually addressed early on is that mileage is very important on luxury cars. So even at 5 kilometers, you're putting...
But the thing is, how would he know that it's a nice car?
Dude, that's crazy. You should have a sample, a display model.
I mean, like as I said, maybe some showrooms do, or maybe some dealerships do. But as far as I'm aware, it's not a thing that they do, because, like, as I said, a lot of these cars are handcrafted. So when you buy the car, they place in the order and they say you have to come and collect it in 8 months.
Wow.
But also, what if you crash it during the test drive?
No, that's a different story. There's insurance and all that. So,
but
wait a minute, insurance for a $17 million car? No. I mean, 17 million dirham car.
There you go.
So I think the insurance company will cry if something happens.
Exactly. And imagine if it's a Bugatti.
With the Titanic background in the music.
Exactly. But that's the thing. That's why they mainly don't really do test drives, because the mileage is very important, and because they're usually when you go to the dealerships, they're not going to say, oh, this 488, you can take this. No, usually you have to wait a bit of time. There's a waiting queue.
There's a waiting
period. They tend to see who you are, what you do, blah, blah, blah. All of this shenanigan on the side.
What about the seats? So if I want to buy a car, do you recommend the guy sit in the seat and check how comfortable it is?
Yeah. So you can go to any dealer, because a lot of the time they do use the same material with the leather. The leather tends to be the same.
What kind of leather? Napa leather?
I believe so. Yeah. It's usually tends to be like very expensive leather as well.
Expensive, yeah.
Okay, guys,
Napa leather is expensive.
To cut it short, because we said we needed to talk about Tesla.
I forgot about Tesla.
Just say that quickly.
Yeah. Okay, so Teslas. Before we end, Teslas. All right, 0 to 100. Elon said, I don't know if it's did they release the car, that Tesla's the fastest production car in the world. 2.1 seconds?
Wow.
No, 1.9 seconds. I can't remember. Do you remember that?
It's somewhere around there, I do
maybe
recall,
1.9 or something like that. Anyway, Teslas are very fast cars. Yeah. Electric cars are really fast in drag races.
Yeah.
I've seen lots of YouTube videos. I think you guys have seen that.
Tesla's winning.
Tesla's winning against an Aventador. Tesla's winning against a Ferrari.
So true,
Tesla's winning against a Porsche.
But that's the thing.
What is going on? So
it's because of the whole like electric capability the car has. Because when you're looking at an Aventador, I think the wheel spin, like you have to factor in wheel spin and all these things.
Acceleration,
Teslas don't have that level of wheel spin.
Yeah,
so
electric motor, man.
It's immediately.
So you literally just go, like you go fast.
But is it true after a certain point? Just in the beginning,
sometimes
in a
they
drag
catch up.
race,
Sometimes they catch up.
They will catch up.
They will catch up and they go faster.
Yeah, they will definitely go faster.
They will go faster
because that's when you can say the gasoline era takes over and they just completely crumble you. But from the get-go, Tesla always dominates. And that's the thing right now. Like if you look at Ferraris, well, let's say another company, the SF90s on launch, they're fast. If you set it into electric and then switch to hybrid in between or whatever, it's very fast because it's 1,000 horsepower. So you're looking at a quick start and you can reach 100.
And then you can
quickly.
switch it while driving it.
But speaking of which, let's talk about the future. Everybody's jumping on the electric bandwagon.
Yeah.
So what's going on in the world of luxury, exotic cars? Is Ferrari switching to electric? Lamborghini switching to electric?
They're all
What's
switching
going
to
on?
electric.
Everybody's switching to electric?
They have to because look, you have to because if you don't, then your company will close down in the next 10 years. A lot of even
you have
just
to cope.
Yeah, you have to cope, and at the same time, it's because there are laws being placed in that countries will require you to manufacture electric cars at this time period. So every manufacturer has been given a deadline. Ferrari has already started off. The good thing about Ferrari is because they have an F1 team, their technology in the Formula One is super, super advanced, even more advanced than anything we've ever seen, even like with Bugatti. Like they have really good technology, and the cars there are hybrids.
Electric?
They're hybrids.
A hybrid.
Yeah. So they actually, so there's obviously gets gasoline, but at the same time, they do have battery power to increase the speeds they have in straights or in corners. So, and they also have the ability to recharge their battery in the race based off like friction. Or there's a whole like science involved in it.
Cool.
Wow,
But Amir, why do I feel like whenever somebody says hybrid, I feel that term hybrid is just a transitionary term.
Yeah.
It's just a temporary period because in the future, everything's going to be converted to electric. As a matter of fact, I heard, I don't know, a long time ago I read this, France will require everybody by 2043 to be completely electric. Every single car in France, electric.
Exactly, yeah.
So why do I feel like this is transitionary whenever you see a hybrid?
Because look, the whole point and mainly the reason that a lot of these guys are doing the hybrids is because it's basically like a smooth transition because they can't just jolt in an electric for people. Because there's a lot of car lovers that hate electric. I don't like electric cars.
Really?
I absolutely despise them. But I know
Andrew Tate hates electric cars.
but I know like one day I have to drive them in the future. Like
this guy just, I don't know, he's just like, he understood me, bro.
Because seriously, when you're driving an electric car, don't you feel it when you're driving an electric car? It's not the same feeling.
Yeah,
like when you're driving
it's
a
boring.
gasoline power. Yeah, not only
when,
that.
when you're driving those cars, like when you're driving like a Ferrari, like the car is fighting you as well when you're accelerating.
you can feel the power.
Like,
you can feel it.
But with electric, it's like, okay, let me just keep going.
Dude, it's just like, one of these, I'm not going to say toys. I don't want to sound offensive.
Bro, I can literally donate my testosterone levels if I'm in that car. If I'm in a combustion car, I'm
the
not
funny
joking.
thing is about electric cars, they put these fake sounds as well.
I was about to say that.
Yeah.
You just in the 20 years, you're just in like a random car.
The reason why, exactly, the reason why also it's extremely boring, it is because it is too comfortable. So you get into that, you literally, you get into that zone. It's like I'm in a studio and I'm about to record a voiceover. And it goes like, silence. It's like this in the car.
But one thing I like about electric cars, especially Tesla, you got to respect that. The technology.
Yeah, Dave definitely.
Tesla is the pioneer of technology in cars.
So true.
Honestly,
autonomous driving.
It's not just autopilot. Not just autopilot. A lot of interesting features. As a matter of fact, a couple of weeks ago, I read an article on the news. Nobody has ever done this before, and they did this through an update. They have lots of software updates in Teslas. You know what happened? They said now after a crash, immediately the car will activate emergency lighting to notify people behind you.
Wow, that's beautiful.
You know the hazard lights?
Yeah.
Even faster. Pop, 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 pop. That means be careful.
Yeah.
Something is about to happen.
Something happened.
Yeah.
That could save a lot of lives. And that's just with a simple software update, guys. I mean, no hardware updates, just software.
So for the audience, ladies and gentlemen, this is a big shout out to Tesla. We didn't forget about Tesla.
Tesla's pushing the entire automobile industry forward.
It's just that the heart goes through towards the combustion engines more.
You know what I think? Amir,
Yeah.
I asked you the other day when I was in the showroom, in your showroom, I said, why don't these guys like the Ferraris and Lambos, whatever, add more of the advanced technology that Tesla has in their cars? I'm not even talking about autopilot.
Yeah.
Things like cameras. You know, in Teslas, they have Sentry mode.
Yeah.
If you go away from the car, activate Sentry mode, all of the cameras, 360, are activated. Anybody who tries to get near the car,
It's like
they want to hijack your car, anybody wants to steal your car, you can see what's going on. There are cameras recording.
Yeah.
And there's another mode for dogs if you forget your dog in the car.
Yeah.
So many interesting
crazy,
things.
yeah.
Why don't these guys put technologies like that
It's
in
gonna
their
cost
cars?
more, bro.
Yeah.
Come on.
Man, they're already charging a large
dude, I mean,
premium. Come on.
The thing is, as well,
the margin
like,
is huge,
when
man.
you step into these kinds of cars, you don't see like a crazy MP3 player or anything like that, because
Yeah.
it also depreciates its value, because when you have that software in the car, it's old school.
yeah.
Tesla can actually
He's right, Nart. He's right.
They can
It will
actually
depreciate.
automatically send in software updates to their
Yeah.
cars, but
Yeah.
like with other cars like a Bugatti, you have to take it into the dealership and update it. So
yeah. It'll be so outdated.
Yeah.
It'll look ugly.
even if you have like a navigation right now, let's say you're in a Tesla, you can easily get that sorted like by yourself. But
Yeah.
like if you're even other cars, like for example Toyota, you can't do that. You have to go to like Alpha Tame here and say like update
True.
my
True.
GPS.
True.
And because of that, software also has a percentage, you can say, on the value of the cars, and it's
Absolutely.
depreciating as well.
That is true.
Okay. Thank
Before
you
we
so
finish,
much.
before we finish, he just was gonna say something
Oh,
about the
what is it?
Buying cars. Your last advice, your
Oh.
recommendation for someone buying a luxury car. What should I keep an eye?
Did he
for?
mention it? It's a Porsche.
No, he was talking about that. Then we interrupted
Yeah.
and we were talking about
So-
Teslas. So why don't you finish that
So
with
yeah,
the?
as I said,
yeah.
research, look what you're into,
Yes.
and look at the customization the car has.
Yes.
And then the next thing you want to look at as well, of course, is the price, what it is right now, and what it can be expected to be in the next couple of years. Because when you're buying these kinds of cars, one of the main things that a lot of rich people do is that they tend to sell these cars after a while. Some people tend to keep in their garage for like art for the future, but
Yeah.
you know, some people tend to sell it. And once you've done that, look at what you like, but try not to, as your first luxury car, do not go for something that's too powerful, because it takes time for people to get used to this. So even you see nowadays, like you see
Right.
these kids turning 18, he's already in a Lamborghini.
Right. It's
That's
crazy.
true.
Dangerous,
It's
risky,
dangerous. Yeah.
and it's a whole. Each car, each higher model is a different animal. They have different fundamentals to you driving it, so you have to be very careful with it.
Very
so that's
careful.
why I recommend take it nice and slow.
Take it nice and
But
slow.
you can take it a bit faster in the roads.
Right.
But then, you know, just
Regarding
step by step.
price, what can you tell us about price? Some tips and tricks.
So with prices, if you're going for exotic, if it's your first one, don't go straight to the dealership. Go through showrooms. They're much better because they tend to give it to you. If it's secondhand, it's not like a big problem, because when showrooms tend to buy it, they don't buy it off with a crazy mileage on it. And if you're going to be driving it every once in a while, like that's an extra couple.
Do they
hundreds.
also give warranties?
No. So when you go, so certain,
that's
no,
the problem.
Certain cars, depending on the year that they were manufactured, there will be warranty. But certain companies, the warranty is on the name of the person rather than the car. So that's one thing as well. Well, we do have cars that there's still warranty and service available.
Do you
to them.
offer warranty?
We can give third party. We can give advice to third party. So a lot of showrooms, they know like these garages are that are really good with their work. They can give good service and work, and
Okay.
we can refer you to them. But a lot of people tend to go to dealership, because one thing as well is a lot of companies as well, once you go to a third party or something like that, you do risk like getting your warranty revoked. It's the same thing with
that's true.
customizing your car.
Right.
You add in a body color and Lamborghini doesn't like it, they will not service your car if they don't want to. They can actually revoke it. So that's
Okay, Amir, thank you so much for your valuable info. Today was an
We have
interesting
to wrap up,
episode
yeah.
on about luxurious cars. Catch us with the next further episodes on the Adam and Not Show. Thank you so much, Amir, for being here.
Next episode, you'll see me with my Lambo. Okay.
Definitely. Yeah,
I'll be the top G in my Lambo.
Come buy from me.
The
Yeah.
top
I'll buy
G's.
from you. Nart, what do you want to buy?
Top G's. Don't forget S.
Top G's, top G's.
Plural.
What do you want to buy?
Me, I'll buy a Lambo, bro. I'm a Lambo fan.
I love Lambo. Dude, stop copying me.
What?
Two
I'm a Lambo
Lambos.
fan. I
Come
don't
on. Okay, fine. What about you, man? What do you like?
Ferrari. Love Ferrari.
Kotaiba, what do you want?
Let's ask the producer.
Porsche.
There we go.
Shout out to Porsche. Oh yeah, I actually want a Porsche too because it's
Porsche is
reliable.
perfect, yeah.
I changed my mind. I want a Porsche.
We got five.
Actually, the producer, he just waited. He just like baited us.
Yeah.
He listened to the entire convo and then
Porsche.
boom, he chose a Porsche.
Porsche.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you guys. Thank you
All right.
everybody for watching and have a great day.
Until next time.
Bye.
Take care.